This hangout on air is live.
No!
It is true. Hi,
No!
my name is Jeremy Johnson, and this is episode 35 of Brew You. With me, as always, is Justin Leveque, my co-host.
Coming at you from Seattle, Washington,
Boom.
all the way across the country.
Now, is it rainy there today, or is it nice?
It's doing its lovely summer thing where it's sunny and cloudy, but not stormy looking, but it comes down in spurts, so it's off and on. Yeah, it's
Comes down
the
in
staple
spurts.
here to never look like it's going to rain, and then it downpours when you're standing outside. So
Of course, yeah.
yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
Well,
I'm
we've
used to
got
it.
we've got lovely weather here in Michigan. We were supposed to have some rain, but it actually turned out to be kind of nice. So a little bit of a breeze, but not bad. Mid 50s, full sun.
Yeah, I saw you guys had a frost warning the other night too. It's staying warm there.
Yeah, it was weird because Chicago got some snow last night, yesterday, and it sort of missed us here. And even though there was a frost advisory potential, we didn't get here and it hit in St. Joe. I kind of
Uh-oh.
early, so it was good.
Hmm. Well, it's not unseasonable for Michigan to still have snow during this time. So,
Yeah, well, let's hope not.
I mean,
So,
because we're still in May, right?
yes,
Yeah,
we are still in
still in
May.
May. So there's still snow for another
That's right.
month and a half-ish.
Well, enough about that. Let's talk about beers because I know
We
we
like
have a
talking about the
couple.
weather, though.
Yeah, screw the weather.
Where else can you have that conversation? Really?
Yeah, with anybody, honestly. But we're going to talk about beer right now, and tonight I'm going to be drinking a local beer, sort of local. I am trying Shorts Brew Chatterbox.
You've not had that before.
I have not had this before. No,
That's
I
weird. I feel like I've seen that a million times. Like you would have had it already, but
no. It's the strangest thing because it's a seasonal brew, and it came out. I saw it first, I think, a couple, 3, 4 weeks ago, and just never had the opportunity to try it. And then I went to my place today to try to snag a 6 pack, and they said, "Oh, we sold out of it. It's out within a couple weeks. It's done." And I'm like, "Wait a minute! I saw that at the grocery store." So I hit the grocery store after that and managed to snag a sixer.
no, there you go. Well, hopefully it's good and you'll enjoy the Sixer.
Yeah, we'll see.
But it's short, so you really can't go wrong.
Well, let's see. I've had one or
Too
two
much, anyways.
bunkers, but mostly they're good. So,
Well, I'm going to be doing Silly Sour Ale.
oh, is that the silly walk on the label? Is that a Mighty Python reference?
You know, it might be, actually.
Is he doing a silly walk?
He looks like he's doing a silly walk. There's nothing in the label about it, but I feel like they would have mentioned that.
That's great.
I don't know, but it's I was in the mood for a sour, per the norm, really. But
Yeah. Cool. Well, good. Well, I know absolutely nothing about mine, so I'm excited to crack it open and get going on this. So
as am I.
let's do it, man. I got my handy dandy Brew You bottle opener.
I know that's pretty slick. I like that.
Woo!
I
Your
still need to
logo
get,
and my brother's dime. So
I still need to get a bottle, like a real bottle opener and a glass. I think I'm gonna make a custom one online.
nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys do that other than T-shirts?
I wish we did. We do mugs, but unfortunately we don't do
No other promotional type stuff?
oh, we do all kinds, but we just don't not in shop anyway.
You do all kinds, country and western?
Country and Western. Yeah, so we're talking Billy Ray Cyrus and uh, Willie Nelson,
I think.
I think.
All right, so I've got a nice golden color here, frothy head, about 1 finger, 1.5 fingers. I've got some slow rising effervescence, which tells me this might be a little on the heavy ABV side. Look how slow those bubbles are.
Well, definitely.
That's kind of crazy, but
Long-lasting
nice
head
color.
as well.
Yeah.
And I've got a kind of, it's hard to tell, but it's kind of like a ruby brown, dark brownish kind of color. Thick head, obviously. Not really a lot of lacing and not a lot of carbonation going on, but it's hard to tell, obviously, with the light in here. But
Yeah, it's pretty though. I can see the sort of red brown
yeah,
color.
once I actually have a proper glass, it might make every beer look awesome like yours does. Honestly, every beer you put into that thing, it just looks.
I can put milk in here.
On that note, I was going to get a cream ale today, but decided to get something else.
I find cream ales really hit or miss.
Yeah, as do I, which is why I was. They're promoting it, and they're like they have this 5 or 6 stacks of different beers that they usually promote
Mm,
throughout the week, and that was the new one they put up this weekend. So I was curious,
okay.
but
Let's see what we're getting on the nose.
ooh, it's
Hmm.
very sour, very puckery, very smells like an apple.
I'm getting some really malt overtones, sort of crystal malt hop type thing characteristics. A little bit of a soapy, like I don't know, Dove bar soap kind of. I could
I
tell
didn't
this is
think
going
you
to be
were a Dove
sweet.
bar soap guy. I thought you were more of a,
Oh, I'm
spring.
Lever 2000 all the way, baby.
Wow, chew. No wonder you have the ladies flocking to you. I need to try that.
Hmm. How about you? What are you getting?
I'm getting, like I said, a lot of sourness, kind of candied tones. Very sweet, very sweet. Actually, like very sticky sweet smelling. So I think this is actually going to be a sour that, unlike last week, this is actually going to have the punch of a real sour beer. So, um, and I also found this kind of tucked away in the corner, and it was I think $2.99 a bottle, and I guess they say that this is one of the most underrated, lowest priced beers for or how good it is. So I was kind
Okay.
of interested to see what it had to offer. I've also never heard of this brewery before, but
Yeah. Well, I'm also picking up now that it's getting a little bit warmer, some sort of hay and straw, so a little bit of farmhouse. There is a strange sort of soap suds mixed with candy, like sweet, sugary, but a little bit of soapy characteristic. It's kind of nice, but I kind of get the feeling like everything is subdued on the nose, and you can see that's already sort of dissipating.
right.
It it strikes me as it's going to be a thick, not quite syrupy, but it's going to be a little higher in ABV. But I think this is only six something.
I was
So
just saying, did you not? What's the bottle say?
I think it's only six. But I'll be darned, they don't put anything on here, so
Yeah,
there's
I've never seen
absolutely
what
no
it
info.
is. I
I
think what I have is 5.5.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah, five
sour
and a
that
half
sounds
percent.
right.
It's 13% traditional dark saison with 87% soured ale.
Oh, it's a saison. Nice.
Yeah, so I'm like actually quite excited about this. So,
All right, well, let's dig
shall
in,
we?
man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hmm.
Ooh, that is wonderful. I mean, it's exactly what I'm looking for. A sour. It's refreshing, but has a very dry. Like it's very fruity, very flower, like, or very sour. Actually, puckering or like having that sensation where it's kind of hard to talk with it. It's just very puckery, very sour. It starts off very dry, which is excellent. It's like that saison dryness,
hmm
and then it's really refreshing. Very like a huge punch of like a sour apple, like a completely ripe green apple, like picked at the perfect time, and then it's a little bit bitter on the finish. Just like getting down to the middle of an apple core. Like has a great transition. It's light and airy, but dry and sweet. It's got a great balance.
Well, nicely said. Yeah, I'm getting really similar characteristics here. I thought this was going to be sweet. It definitely is not. I'm getting a very nice weedy sort of bitter. You get the hops really come through, but it's not a hop bomb. It's just sort of a nice ale with some hops that are well blended in there. The mouthfeel is very creamy, so but it's also sort of light and airy. It kind of shoots back and coats your mouth really easy. And it's just very pleasant. I'm getting this nice sort of hop burn, but it's very low. It's not the weird sort of bitterness that makes your tongue all rough. It's really nice. It's just coating the back of my throat, and a little bit of malt smoothness, but not overly done. Like you said, it seems right now really well balanced.
Yeah, it's a wonderful combination, and I think I was thinking there's gonna be more of that bubblegum kind of flavor to this, which isn't really evident at all because I think it's the dryness that's in it that really kind of kills those tones, and it's actually adding a lot to it. I mean, I don't mind the bubblegum kind of flavor that you get in a lot of sours, but this in particular, that dryness really, I mean, it's like eating an apple skin, just a ripe apple skin. It is delicious. Ooh, that's good.
Nice.
Very excited about how good this is.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too that this is this reminds me a little bit of the Yosemite Scooter, which I found to be a little more hoppy, I guess. So this is sort of shades, and I can tell instantaneously that this is a shorts beer. It just has that shorts style. A lot of their beers, no matter if it's the American Pales that they do so well, or even some of the soft parades, the fruit bombs, those sorts of things. There's a certain sort of, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's sort of a compact, boy, it's really tough to articulate, but they have a very sort of condensed and compactness to them, where the flavor profile hits you right away. That it doesn't change a whole lot. Sort of all the ingredients are there. It has a nice round mouthfeel, and that's that. And then you've got a little bit of a burn, but it doesn't do cartwheels. It just is a really solid, emblematic of the style that they're putting forth. So, or that they're brewing. This is fun. This is really nice. I'm getting a little bit of citrus too, but it's really subdued. Um, wow, it's good.
I'm gonna have to, I've seen that on the shelves before, and I always pass it over. So I think when I'm in
Too, 'cause
town the next month here, I might have to pick up a bottle.
yeah, I passed it by because number one, it does have the same color scheme as
Oh,
as
not South Parade, but which one is it? The
oh, well, Yosemite Scooter has the same sort of thing. So I kind of mix them up occasionally, and so I'll glance at them on the shelf, and I'll just say, oh, that's Yosemite Scooter. I've already had that, and then I'll do a double take, and it's Chatterbox, and I'm like, what is that one again? I don't want to spend the 11.99 or 10.99, whatever the heck it is for a sixer.
right.
And this time around, I think it was 8.99. I think is what it was on the shelf. I was like, well, okay, I haven't tried it yet, and I kind of want to do some Michigan beers for Joel and the other folks who watch us occasionally.
But Stone doesn't have any beer coming out of their factory.
Because it's burned down. No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they hopefully they're okay, but they posted yesterday that they were pretty much out of the path of the wildfires, but of course there's still the threat of that, and hopefully they'll get through it. But are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I thought you were frozen
I
again.
thought you were finishing us. I thought you were finishing a thought. So.
I thought we lost you. But no, they did. They just came out with the Sprocket beer in the Tall Boys, and that was pretty good. I tried that. It's not really my style. It's a dark Kolsch. And I did try their Saison, which is their year-round Saison now. It's just straight up Saison, and it's quite good. It's very solid.
We're still talking Stone, correct?
Yeah, Stone.
Okay.
And they did just come out. Oh, there's the new Stochastity that, or Stochastity, I think it's called. They have a new one coming out too that I really want to try. It's gosh, what is it? It's a quad. I think it's a Belgian quad.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think that could turn some heads. It's not
Definitely.
something that Stone Beer or Stone Brewing ordinarily makes, so they could do it under the Stochasticity um, brand and sort of sidestep any criticism that why is Stone doing this weird thing? They can sort of
Yeah,
sidestep that.
I'm gonna have to head over to the old beer store that I used to go to back when I was in Wallingford.
Mm,
Um, what's it called? Well, anyway, um, Metropolitan Market only carries 4 or 5 kinds of stone, and it's
yeah.
almost always the same ones.
Well,
And
use the
right.
find.stonebeer.com.
Well, I could
Use your
always go to.
find.
I'm sure Pine Box will have them on draft.
Yeah.
I need to head back there as well.
I totally missed the Enjoy by 516. Didn't see that anywhere around here.
Oh,
So,
I never came across it. Otherwise, I would have tried that as well. That's
yep, that
unfortunate.
was done as of yesterday.
Oh, snap.
So we'll have to wait for the next round.
Hmm. I just checked out a new place. It's called. Man, memory's not working. Um, but it was during Seattle Beer Week,
Hmm.
which was this last week, and all of their saisons, I believe, were $1 off or something like that, which wasn't a big deal there. But they had, I think, 15 on their list.
Hmm.
But they had about 24 to, I think, 30 beers on their menu. They're a brand new restaurant. Um,
Sweet.
they had a ruby red ale that was
Oh,
just,
was that Shinerbach?
it was not Shinerbach.
Okay, because
Or,
that's their new summer beer, or
or
that's not new,
better,
but seasonal.
better off red, I think it was called, or
Hmm.
better ruby something.
Or
And it was
you got some red in you?
you got some red on you. Get some,
In you, get it? In you?
no,
No, me either. I just made it up.
you and your Michigan humor.
All right, well, let's take another sip and give our final thoughts on these puppies.
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna say it's really unfortunate that it only comes in the size bottle and not in a 6 pack. I mean, I'll just build my own 6 pack next time, I guess. Um, but I can't really recommend it enough. I'm gonna go straight off with a 10, which it is
Whoa!
it is just that good, and I've not rated anything that high in quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. It's just best way to describe it is like taking a bite out of a big sour apple, big sour green apple. It's very dry, very sweet, and it's just well balanced and extremely well composed. I don't think I could want anything more from a sour that this offers. So it's
Beautiful.
highly recommended.
All right, silly sour.
Silly sour, yeah. Aside from the stupid name, if they would have come up with something a little,
Well, I like it. It's got the silly walk thing, so that's kind of cool.
I suppose. But I mean, even the clerk at the store is like, I think everybody actually misses this bottle because of the name.
Silly sour.
So
All
it's
right.
their loss. There's like 4 or 5 more on the shelf. So
Yep. So snag them.
I don't know anywhere I'm going tonight.
All right. Well, uh, likewise, Shorts Brew. And it's funny they say Shorts Brew and not Shorts Brewing Company. Shorts Brew, Chatterbox, American Pale Ale, um, just straight up delicious. Um, it's I don't know. It's kind of stymieing me because it sort of tastes like a West Coast IPA, but it still has that Michigan earthiness to it. Um, it's very subdued. The malt, it's just really well balanced. I'm 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 kind of shocked because I really like the Yosemite Scooter, and uh, and I kind of thought that was a strange thing to come out of Shorts Brewing Company, even though they put their own sort of spin on it. I really enjoyed it. I almost like this one better. I don't know. It's really solid. It's complicated, complex, but all of the signature Shorts details are there, and it tastes great. It gives you a nice hop burn. The IBU is just straight on delicious. Um, yeah, this is going to get me craving for more.
Well, good thing you
So,
have 5 more.
Yeah, I have one sitting right here. Um, anyways, you know what? I got to go with an 8 on this one. I wouldn't say it's perfect, and there's plenty of other ones that I like way better. But it's an 8 out of 10. It's definitely an 8. It's a nice solid 8. I love it. I like this quite a bit.
Hmm.
So
It's a good week.
Mhm.
It's been a while since we both
I'm
made
happy.
anything like cool. I'm happy. You happy, Vincent?
I'm not quite dead yet. I'm happy.
I'm happy. I'm happy. Be stone dead in a moment.
Thump. All right, so that's it, folks, for the beer portion of our show. I gave Shorts Brewing Company Chatterbox an 8 out of 10. It's quite delicious.
And I gave Silly Sour a 10 out of 10. Man,
Beautiful.
that just happened.
Beautiful. All right, well, that's it. We hope you tune in next time and drink a couple more beers with us. You can subscribe and like and comment and share the video. You should like and subscribe. And we'd really appreciate that. And we'll hopefully see you again next week. If you want to stick around, Jay and I are going to just hang and talk about some movies and a couple other things. Music and life and comics and life and movies and life and maybe some life. I don't know. Maybe. A very special Brew You. No. Anyways, we'll talk about that wallet that you found too. So anyways. In the meantime, have a great weekend and
until next time.
Until next time, baby.
Brew You.
Brew You.
Brew. It goes up to 11.
Tink. Tink.
I'm going to give this an 11 out of 10. It goes up to 11. Silly Sour goes to 11. That's what I'm going to say.
So, speaking of bad beer experiences, since we had such a great beer experience, we went to, I guess annually, St. Joe has a event called Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, which sounds kind of cool on the face of it, right?
Barbecue park.
How can you go wrong? Well, yeah. But here's the thing: the blues was probably the thing I probably enjoyed the most, because they had a band there that was supposedly bluegrass, but they were playing like the Beatles and a couple other interesting songs, and they were actually quite good. They were called the band was called Slim Gypsy, and the woman had like a terrific voice, just fantastic. But anyways, we went down there. It was free to get in. You had to go buy tickets to get beers, and then the food vendors would just take cash, which was great. And so we went in and got some rib tips from one of the barbecue places, which was okay. I mean, it's rib tips, and it was it's got all those little nodules, those little bones that are in the. Mm-hmm. You gotta kind of eat around them. And it was fine. It was fine. We also they had some mac and cheese and potato salad, which was okay. And that's all we had as far as the barbecue, because nothing else really looked all that great. And they had a couple like local restaurants there that kind of had no business being at a barbecue place or a barbecue event. It didn't make sense.
Where was the event again?
It was down on Silver Beach, so it's right on the beach. In a little park there that they do for all sorts of events. And but the most disappointing thing of the entire deal was it was like every other half-assed. It was sponsored by Bud Light distributors, so strike one.
Yep.
And
so should have been Bob, is what you're saying?
Yeah, Bob and Neil, and or is it Neil and Bob? So. But here's the thing. So when all the posters have been up for months and months and months all over town. We'd go to a restaurant or bar and you would see this poster for it. And you go to their website and it'd be like, oh, okay, well, it's Bud Light. Bud Light's going to be there. Shock Top, who gives a crap, it's owned by Bud Light, same Bud distributor.
Right.
But then they had Tapestry Brewing, Perrin, Hideout from Grand Rapids.
Yep.
And like a couple other ones too, and I'm like,
well, that should be worth it.
This could be okay, they had one tap from each of those places. So they had the hideout this. They had the Perrin this. That's it. They pre-selected what they were going to be pouring.
That's pretty low.
One tap.
Way
So
to advertise and not deliver.
they had like 7 beers on tap total, and one of them was Bud Light, and the other one was Shock Top Lemon Shandy.
Of course it
And
was.
yeah,
Because it's summer, so what else do they drink?
and do you think there was any beer representative
Well, I'm sure
at
not.
this event? No, it was all volunteers or their distributor itself pouring the stuff. It was really just like, are you kidding me? This is so. Oh, I expected so much more, at least a little bit more. I didn't expect a whole lot, but I had hoped like number one, I knew there weren't going to be any beer representatives there or brewery representatives because that just never seems to happen these days, unless you're going to a big major thing. And but I kind of thought maybe they would have the hideout section,
You would hope so.
the Greenbush. I thought they would have like each of those breweries represented in some way, even like bottles, some variety.
An actual beer event that features beer
Oh,
that has more than one beer from.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty disappointing. So we kind of had a couple beers, we had the rib tips and whatever, and then we just headed out. So that was the end of that.
That's disappointing.
Well, the only good part of it, like I said, was the band was pretty good, and it was a nice sunny day at the beach. So even though it's a little cooler here, it was like mid 50s back when we went. It was still quite nice. So we hung out in the sun and listened to some music and drank some beers that were actually pretty good, but just not what I'd hoped. I had grapefruit Perrin and who was
How was the grapefruit pairing?
well, that's good. We've had that before. Perrin's grapefruit IPA. It's been on tap for 2 years, 3 years, and it's good. I quite like it. I think it's probably their best product that they put out.
I'm trying to
Um,
remember if I had that when I was there.
and then Tapestry Brewing, which is just a little south of here, in I think it's Bridgman. Um, they had a what did they call it? Not radioactive, not retro, but something like that. Something can't think of it. Something IPA, and it was like just a nice dippa basically, and it was really earthy and really kind of like the typical Michigan IPA, but it was still pretty good. And you have a couple beers and a little bit of rib tips, and you're good to go. So that was the sort of what we did this morning, and it was all right.
That's not too bad, I guess. I mean, it is what
Yeah,
it is.
definitely worse ways to spend the day. And I mean, it was I'm hanging out with my wife, who's awesome, and she's game for. We actually got to play a little bit of what's
Shuffleboard?
the beanbag
Oh,
um,
cornhole.
cornhole. Yeah, so that
Oh
was fun.
man, I
I
miss
beat
the days of.
I beat
Okay,
her 3-1. Boom.
of course, you're a cornhole master. Take that how you will.
Well, actually, I thought too. I was like, well, we need to get a cornhole set because
Well,
you
now you
know
have a yard and
we
everything.
got this whole side yard that we don't do anything. I'm like,
You could have
the
cornhole and beer tournaments.
the hammock goes there and the cornhole goes there. Yeah.
You
That's
can
pretty
make it
fun.
every time you don't land on the board, you have to take a drink of your beer.
Yes.
So if
Yeah,
it
I like it.
slides off,
It's like beer pong, but
yeah,
beer cornhole. Yeah, I like it.
yeah, I think that would actually be a lot of fun. So what are you doing in the end of June?
Yeah, I know, right?
Any cornhole tournament, anyone?
Cornhole. Cornhole.
That doesn't sound like a good time.
Yeah.
I do
I
miss our cornhole days at Brewery Vivant.
oh, I know. I
Big
would
red
love to
rock
have
in
a
the
set like
sun, and
theirs.
cornhole, and well,
Yeah. So that would be fun. I'd like to at least get a set. We need to get one anyways because if we're gonna do any kind of tailgate this year, then we probably need to get something to bring to the tailgate. I also been thinking about putting in a horseshoe pit, but we'll see what the wife has to say about that.
horseshoe and washers.
Yeah, well, we'll have ladder golf, horseshoes, badminton, We'll have the whole thing. It'll be like the Olympics of backyard sports.
Oh, I've got the perfect beer for you to serve too. Lemon
Yeah,
shandy.
legit.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
better
gonna
yet,
go
no, no,
over
no, no.
well.
Let's just make our own lemon shandy. What do they call those?
Yeah, I'm gonna make one in probably about 20 minutes.
Well, there's apparently a bacon saison, I think,
Mm,
down in Tacoma. Um, yeah, which is about probably an hour bus ride for me.
are
The
you kidding me?
Yeah,
I'll,
the guy at the market was a saison or a IPA. Um,
we'll try to find out. I want more information. It's in Tacoma. We could probably Google it real quick.
yeah, it was in Tacoma. I don't remember. He didn't say the name of the place.
Tacoma. If I can spell it.
And I'm trying to
Brewery,
remember because
bacon beer.
he actually had them mix it with another beer they had there. Um,
There's a bacon and beer classic.
yeah?
Bacon beer Swiss brew.
I guess I'm not terribly surprised. I'm hearing that Tacoma is actually an upcoming Seattle, but with more beer and more food.
Huh? Is it Wingman's and Maxwell's bacon beer?
Wingman's actually sounds familiar. I know I've had one of their beers, which was I don't know which one I had. Maybe it was no, that wasn't the
Dude,
Seattle Beer Week beer, but
dude. I'm reading it right now. The Bacon and Beer Classic will consume Safeco Field in Seattle May 17th. That's today.
what am I doing here?
What are you doing?
What am I doing? Safeco's like
Let me
yeah,
see.
that's a 20-minute walk. Actually, it's a little farther than that, but
We're coming to you, Seattle.
a
We
mile
can't
away.
wait. Oh my God, everybody's there at 21st Amendment. Stone's going to be there.
Dude, I could probably hit that in about a 10-minute bus ride.
You should totally do this. Let me see tickets because it might actually.
Is this Seattle Beer Week still? I don't know why I'm asking someone in Michigan,
It's
but
no. This is the Bacon and Beer Classic.
I was hearing something about it, but then our radio broke at work, so
It says no tickets available.
not a big surprise.
So maybe the pre-sale was sold out. We look forward to seeing you May 17th. Please reach out. I'm trying to. It's at Safeco Field
Right, which is
where the Seattle Mariners play,
right.
but it doesn't really say like
Yeah, I've been hearing about it on the radio actually, and I completely didn't know it was. I didn't know it was this weekend. Otherwise, I would have made plans around that today.
when and where. Let's see here. Let's see what the time. Okay, there's two sessions.
Oh,
Come to one or come to both. You'll need a ticket for each session you attend. So it says 12 to 4 is session 1, and then 6 to 10 is session 2. So you could totally do the 6 to 10.
interesting.
But they're not showing any prices or anything online, so I have no idea. And I imagine you can just get it right there. General admission, blah blah blah. Tickets of your choice. Canceled due to weather.
Definitely intriguing. However,
Can I
so work to do
volunteer?
today. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to make it down there.
Yeah, it might be a little pricey too. It says there's a special designated driver ticket available for $29. So that's if you're
Wow.
a DD.
Right. I mean, I'd be
So
jumping
you're
on the
talking
bus.
$40. It's gonna be $40. So, oh well, next year.
Well, Tacoma still has next year probably. You'll have to come up next year and enjoy the
Man, that
festivities.
sounds awesome. Bacon and beer, dude. Really, bacon and beer?
Well, they still have a bacon beer that's in Tacoma that wasn't part of that event. Like he was down there for it yesterday.
No, you're right. You're right because it's a traveling thing.
Right.
So they're going to be in. It's a bacon and beer classic, but they come to Seattle, so they travel around.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Yeah. He said he had it. I'm trying to remember what it was. But he said he had the bacon beer mixed with something else that they wouldn't normally do, but he asked very nicely, I guess.
Could you please put your bacon in my peanut butter?
Oh,
In my
gosh.
peanut butter
I
porter.
think we did talk about that a little while ago, didn't we? The PB&B beer.
Yeah, yeah. Last time, yeah. I
Oh,
wonder if you could do a peanut butter and jelly beer.
I think you've done it. Well, you've done a peanut butter.
I've done peanut butter porter, yeah, but I mean, I wonder if you could do a peanut butter and jelly. I mean, why couldn't you? You do like strawberry, like peanut butter and strawberry beer. Would that make sense?
Could you like what?
How about a peanut butter bacon? No, wait, that's Rogue.
How about
That's
maple
yeah,
and
maple and bacon
you
and
know what sounds really good?
waffles,
Maple
chicken.
and bacon and wait, what was that called? I think we've had that voodoo something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we might have had that at one point or another. Yeah, I think Rogue is pretty much whatever.
All right, I'm gonna crack
Whatever they
this
have in the
guy
kitchen.
open.
What are you doing?
Check this out, by the way. The label on this is actually partially why I bought it, but it's
Hang
got
on.
like a super metallic kind of.
Oh, that's cool. Is that like a mouse or a rat?
I think it's a rat, but beer brewed with honey, molasses, and oats.
Ooh. Actually, you know what?
It's a honey ale. It sounds
I, I,
fantastic.
I did a little bit of cheating, and
Uh oh.
I looked at your two beers reviews, and I was hoping you'd drink this one because it actually sounds right up your alley. But I know you like sours too, so
I
obviously,
love my sours, and in
yeah,
fact, that's I've been going after sours a lot lately, and it's like I said last week, like that super red was really disappointing as far as like I'm keep on looking for the extra punch of flavor,
yeah,
and I'm just not. I've really
not
been
getting it.
disappointed with a lot of that lately,
Yeah,
which is super unfortunate.
let's do that.
So movies,
Movies, yeah, I
did you
actually
make it
have.
out to see Winter Soldier or
No, I have not been able to. And actually, today was the day that Alamo Drafthouse was playing um, Big Trouble in Little China.
and you missed it?
I didn't miss it. I opted not to do it. I was hoping my brother would be able to do it, but he has to work tonight, and so he couldn't make it. And I was kind of like, well, I really don't want to drive back into Kalamazoo. It's like because I drove every single day this week, and so that's 10 hours on the road, and I just didn't want to toss another couple on there just yet. But
It's,
I was this close. I was really going to do it if I could get someone to go with me. But I don't know. And I just kind of wanted to hang around with my wife a little bit because she just got back from New York after a couple days, so I thought it'd be fun to just stick around town. And it was. And we had a great time today, so that was totally worth it. But I do have three movies to talk about, and I'm pretty sure you haven't seen any of these.
okay, and
So
I have to let you know before you dive into that.
yeah,
This smells ridiculous.
yeah,
Like it is like chocolate oats. I mean, it literally it smells like oatmeal, which I mean straight oatmeal. Which I've never actually smelled a beer that smells quite that. I feel like oatmeal would be a really hard thing to actually get a decent, smell into a beer. Like
yeah,
we've talked about how you would make different kinds of beers and how you would actually really infuse the flavor. Because some things just don't have they might have a strong flavor, but they don't have a strong smell, or what's going to be more overpowering than another. And
yeah.
this smells like chocolate oats. It's just, oh, it
Yeah,
smells.
take a sip because I'm really curious to see if your first impression matches what I read.
That's delicious. Wow, it really has a weird. Um, that's interesting. Sorry, it's good. It's got a great. It just has a really long
Finish?
transition.
Mm.
Yeah, like it goes from kind of like a stout, like a milky kind of stout with a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of malt. Not exactly dry, but it's very milky. Like it's very milky. And then it transitions into um, like a thick, like a chocolate milkshake, like a powdered sugar, or sorry, a powdered, like a powdered chocolate.
Hmm.
But it still maintains a lot of that milky smoothness. And then at the very tail end, it starts fading off into like a honeyed chocolate. Like
Oh,
it's
that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's all over the place. Like I mean, it transitions really well, but
Yeah.
it's surprising the flavor profile that how well it changes over.
Yeah, well, what I read was that it was something that you expected to be sweet, and it kind of wasn't. It was more all about the oats
Oh, it is like
and the
it's.
grains.
Oh, it definitely. I mean, the oats are a predominant flavor in this, but it's not sweet. It's just like I said, it's very milky, and it's the oats. It's like if you're eating oatmeal without any cinnamon, any sugar, like adding anything to it.
Nice.
Um, oh, that is delicious. Man, two good picks today. I
Yeah,
would give
right.
this not just in a good mood, but I would probably give this a 9 at
Yeah,
least, like
but
an 8 or 9.
both of those rated in the low 80s, which is still good on Beer Advocate.
Right.
So any beer that actually scores good, I have a high regard for. So, but
Oh,
good.
that
Glad you
is
like that.
wonderful.
Okay, so three movies, and I'll go from worst to best. The first one I would say worst is Hell Baby. Have you seen previews for that?
I've not seen Hell Baby.
It's a comedy
Sounds
that
fire.
has Rob Corddry and there's a few other comedians. It's written by the guys from Reno 911 and
Okay.
the state, and and I don't think it was directed by them though. I think it was directed by somebody else, and some of it works so well. It's about basically your typical, you know. Can you see Hannah?
Sorry.
Can you see Hannah? She's in the corner there.
Oh no, I can't. Oh, now I see her. I
Yeah,
just
yeah, there she is.
yeah, like
Um,
wait.
but it's your typical haunted house, paranormal activity, Rosemary's Baby, comedy, horror thing, and
And I tend to shy away from anything that's like scary movie, things like that.
yes,
Like what I would
it's
refer to as
sort of
kind of
that. It's sort of it's not really it's not like Scary Movie, which is trying to be like Airplane for scary movies.
right
It's more
parody.
there's a little more story there, and it's the guys who wrote it, Thomas Lennon and what's his name? I can't remember his name. Um, the other dude. They play the priests who go
Okay.
into exercise, and they're going to New Orleans, and it's they're priests who smoke and drink and basically lust after women. It's just kind of funny. So I would say that their parts are actually the better of the movie, and the sort of possession, whatever is secondary. It's so that to me that was the worst. I gave it maybe 2 out of 5 stars. It's not terrible, but it's certainly not very good. If you're I would say if you've had a couple sour beers maybe, and it happened to be on Netflix Instant Watch, which I think it is, then that might be a good.
I know. So intrigued today.
Hannah, what you doing, Hannah?
Hello, face.
Yes, hello, face. Um, the second one, the next notch up, is on Netflix Instant Watch, and you could watch it tonight. And you maybe you've already seen it. It stars a certain Simon Pegg.
Oh, the what if everything or the he's the writer that's psychotic or
Yes,
mentally disturbed or
yes, a
I
fantastic
watched
fear of everything.
yes I watched I think 45 minutes of it.
Oh, wow, you made it through that far.
Yeah, that's about where I started cutting it off. I was kind of half watching it, which is probably why I made it further into it. But it's very childish. It's very
Yes, it
like
is,
it's yeah. I would
and it doesn't even come together until about 45 minutes in. And then it's sort of like start because it's so repetitive, right? That first
it's
45 minutes
extremely
is
repetitive.
like, okay, we get the setup, we understand you have a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I
Uh,
enjoy the extremity of the character, and I like how Simon Pegg. I mean, honestly, goes all out in his performance with
he
that character.
does.
Like he
Yep.
doesn't pull any stops. I mean,
Yeah.
he looks like an agoraphobic. Like just
Yes.
he does play it off very very well. but like you said, it's A, childish. It's B, a little cartoonish. You know.
Which is fine. I actually think like I understand where they were coming from, and I could see like him loving this project and loving the script. I somewhere along the line the tone got lost. So it was kind of like it reminded me quite a lot of the Chevy Chase Goldie Hawn movie way back when it was the where she saw a murder and like everybody's chasing her, the midgets chasing her. What was that movie? Do you remember that?
Picture of Chevy Chase with
Yeah,
Goldie.
Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn. Yeah, it was like
Uh,
a who done it. He played like a detective.
well, I'm always thinking Steve Martin with Goldie Hawn.
No, this was
Uh,
probably yeah. Here we go. I got it right here. I googled Goldie Hawn Chevy Chase dwarf, and the movie is called Foul Play. And
uh,
if you've
Probably.
never seen it, you have to see it because it's really great. But it's this weird mismatch or mishmash of tones, and I think that's kind of what Fantastic Fear of Everything was going for. But it just doesn't quite click, or like Act One takes way too long, and
Act
then
One does less.
Act Two is like not even there, and then Act Three is like, okay, now I see, I understand what you're doing. So, anyways, hi Viola, and hello to you.
I feel like I've seen that name before. I wonder if this is someone I actually know.
Now, I wonder if that's the one who remember who was giving us all those questions before.
That's probably where it came from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, part of it too is I think that Simon Pegg, you're used to his the dry humor kind of things,
Yes.
and not exactly the person who's running around like a crazy man.
Oh yeah, Viola. Do you know there's been many of those? Yeah, it's Agatha Christie. So yeah, there have been many movie adaptations of, and then there were none. Ten Little Indians. There's been many, and there have been some that even don't reference that, but basically they still did the same thing. I guess the most recent example would be John Cusack in Identity. That's straight up the same sort of premise, but sort of done psychologically. So, all right. So, anyways,
Which you can't
uh,
really go wrong with. I mean, it's John Cusack.
yeah, I actually I saw that movie with Juliet in the theater, and it was amazing. I really like it. It's sort of the movie like once you see it once though, you can't really see it again
No, I
because
agree. No,
yeah,
I mean, I bought it on DVD, and then yeah, I had that experience where I was like, oh, I'm gonna love it, and I watched it again. It's good. I like it. But
hey, you're like
it
really
lost
they're
its
going
sting right
there.
after. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So the what I should watch next is
Well, the third movie on the list is, and I would say I would recommend persevering through a Fantastic Fear of Everything because the end
I
is
plan on watching the rest of it. I just
it
didn't
does
have.
come together, but it just sort of takes in the very end is kind of very strange. It's very abrupt, but I like it for the style that it is and appreciate Simon Pegg. But the third movie similarly is not structured the best. It's called You're Next. And I'm sure you've seen the previews where the masked individuals who are wearing animal masks basically attack a family in their home during
Yeah,
an
yeah.
anniversary.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. Were you going from bad to
yeah,
really
I would
bad?
say Your Next is of the three that I saw the best of the three. It's
Okay.
not a perfect movie. It's not even I don't know, but there's many things that I liked about it, and there are many things I disliked about it. And what I really liked about it was there were some tongue-in-cheek sort of the dark humor is good. I like that, but it's not consistent, and it sort of loses its way early on, but then gains traction. I would say it's a little on the predictable side. I kind of knew the twist well before it was telegraphed and explained. Um, but It's got some pretty good violence. So some of the gore is no digital that I could tell. So practical effects for the
Practical
most part.
effects, which is always far more powerful.
Yeah. Um, and really some sort of nasty kind of, you know, uh, violence that sort of gets you like, yeah. And then there's, it's your typical slasher, uh, where there's the final girl, which we
Right.
love that sort of thing, and that's if you're doing a sort of slasher film, you need that final girl, and her sort of revenge kills and things like that are really, you really like get behind it. But we've seen it before, and so there's nothing really
Yeah.
there that is, it's like,
Well,
I
slasher.
guess if you were new to this genre, you might really like, oh my gosh, but we've seen everything, and it's kind of, yeah, it's okay.
Well, slashers are a lost art, unfortunately.
Well, it's
I mean, maybe because there was about 4,000 of them in the 70s, but
well, I don't know about lost art. I think it's
well, it's been
for us
yeah. I
because
mean,
we've seen that the
if
whole
you went through the
gamut.
70s and 80s
Yeah,
slashers, you've really seen
but
everything there
but
is.
it's new to the next generation, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I'm 47, and
But I
so
feel like it's toned down now versus, you know.
well, but there are things like these, like your next, where it's sort of not toned down, and I would say that that's one of the things I respect about it was that they kind of don't tone it down. I mean, it's not the glory days of the '80s where you get to see Jason take the machete to the head and then slide down the machete. No, you're probably not going to see that too much more. But they do a really good job, I think, with what they can do within the constraints of the rated R system in today's modern system, or cinema. But they don't shy away from it, which I kind of like, and they do. There's a pretty good opening scene sequence that has Larry Fessenden, who is, if you know anything about indie horror films, he is a writer, director. He's just you would recognize him right away, and he's done some really good work on very low budgets. And but he plays a little part in there, so they throw him this juicy little part, and he pops up throughout the film too. So it's that I really like that. I love those little in jokes and those
Well,
sort of
definitely.
like, it's that, so the filmmakers know that their audience is you, the person who likes '80s, you know, indie flicks and more. And Barbara Crampton from Beyond and Reanimator is the mother in the movie. So
Lovely.
yeah,
Yeah.
you get that sort of like that nice little mix that gives you a little bit but the plot is pretty standard. It's you kind of know what's coming. So those are my three.
It's probably a lot easier to come by those actors and actresses at this point in their career.
I would
Lower,
think
lower
so.
budget films.
Yeah, I think so. Well, you know, Barbara Crampton was at when my brother and I went to Chicago for that horror festival.
Right?
She was in attendance with Jeffrey Combs and all that, and she was a lovely, lovely person. I mean, she was, you know, and I think she's really good. And she's popped up in other TV movies and things like that. She's older. She's definitely looking her age, but she still looks great. So who cares? But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. All right, now I think we lost you. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's probably going to do it for us then, since we lost Jay. We appreciate you tuning in, especially you, Viola. And we will see you again next week, most likely. Bye.